Marion. I'm from the blog Miss Mustard Seed.
And I'm Kriste. I'm from the blog Rosemary and Thyme.
And Kriste just bought a house today.
Like 2 hours ago. Bought a house.
So it's like she closed and we're painting.
That's right. So that's how we do things.
That's right. So can you give a little nutshell about your house?
Yeah, it is a 1925 bungalow. Would you call it a bungalow?
I think so, yeah. Like stone.
Yeah, it's craftsman.
Yeah.
So there's lots of like really great molding and stuff downstairs, and yeah, we're really excited about it. It's the whole process was so surreal, and like I still don't even feel like I'm sitting in my house right now.
It really is. It's so charming. Like such a sweet house. Lots of beautiful molding. Lots of personality.
Little closets that Marion wants to take home with her.
I do. I'm like, can I just like rip it out of the wall? Will it just like come with me? And like, anyway, lots of great stuff, but also lots of potential. I think lots of things that you can do to it that are that's gonna like take it to the next level.
Right.
So
which is what we were looking for.
So we're painting today, and we're painting milk paint.
That's right.
On the walls.
It's happening.
Yeah, this is just like I would say I don't know if it's quite flat. Maybe it's like an eggshell.
I think so.
Kind of finish on the walls, and this is actually Kriste's idea. This is not me being like, hey, let's put milk paint all over
your product on
all over the walls of your new house. She was like, I want to use milk paint. And I'm like, well, I have not painted milk paint on walls before. I know it can be done. A lot of people do it, especially in like green building, like when they're building, you know, not economical, ecologically eco-friendly homes. They'll use milk paint on the walls. So I know it can be done and it's fine, but milk paint can be a little unpredictable.
Right.
And painting walls is a lot bigger than painting a piece of furniture. So I kept telling Kriste, like, maybe we should like test it out.
She's so nervous. I'm like, nah, let's just put it on the walls.
Just
see what happens.
Test swatch. Yeah. So anyway, you'll get to see if it works out or if it's, you know, a disaster. I think it's going to work out fine. I really do. But anyway, so we've mixed it up in these big buckets. We're not quite sure how much paint it's going to take exactly. We mixed up a gallon of each color. Milk paint, since it is a little bit thinner and the coverage isn't as good, I'm expecting we might need to do at least 2 coats.
Sure.
So we'll just see how far it goes, and we'll let you know, like this much product covered, this amount, you know, this size room. She does have a lot of windows and doors though, so it's not a ton of wall space. We're going to paint this wall in Artissimo, which is just going to be an accent wall color. Yep, that Kriste's clapping about. She's super excited about it. So I mixed the paint up yesterday to give it a chance to just sit and really like break up all the powder, sort of like pancake batter. Like you mix it and like leave it alone for a while. That's what we did with this. And then we're going to give it a whir with an immersion blender. Little whir. Just to sort of make sure that we don't have any lumps and clumps. We are going to be rolling it on, so we just don't want clumpies on the wall. So we're going to mix it with an immersion blender. You could also use a regular blender, just like get something at a yard sale, keep your eyes out for something like that. Just use it for paint, because even if you wash it, there's still, you don't want to use it for smoothies or anything like that. Don't do that. Okay. And we're going to roll it on just like regular paint.
Yeah.
That's it. So it should be a pretty simple process.
It's going to be great.
All right. So let's get to it.
All right.
And we're painting. She's ripping up the carpets.
I am.
So it's okay if we
So
try.
no worries.
Learned some things. The first coat's on. Yeah, and I think it looks pretty much like a latex would after the first coat of a dark color going over light.
Yep.
So we were really impressed with the coverage, because we really weren't sure
just how much we would need.
Yeah. So the first
I like
dip with the roller.
The first dip, I did I don't know, like a third of the wall.
Yeah.
Like the whole middle section, basically, I did with just one dip of the roller.
So I think because it's thinner, it just spreads better.
And it's so I mean, it's like butter.
Since it is thinner, it does splatter.
Quite a lot.
A lot more than latex.
Yeah.
So you just want to be aware of that. So I would suggest taping off the baseboards. Make sure you use drop cloths. Make sure you're wearing painting clothes. Don't wear nice clothes and do one of these dealies. You're gonna
It won't work out for you. It's on my face and
Kriste
she's
has
laughing.
like on her face, her feet. How'd you get it on your feet?
It's really talented.
The bottom of your feet.
Really?
Like painting like this.
Well, I think it's like on.
It's on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
So you're
I can
sitting
feel
on it
it.
now.
I can feel it. Yeah. So yeah, it does splatter. So make sure you wear a drop. Or
Well, also wear one.
just make a little outfit out of it. Okay, use a drop cloth.
Yes.
Wear
We're ripping these carpets up, so we're not worried about that.
Right. So that was actually strategic. Since
Yes.
we're ripping them up, we said let's just leave them so we can splatter them, and it's not a big deal. We have plenty of paint left over.
Oh yeah.
We probably could have done the whole room, but we're just doing this one accent wall. So what we're going to do, since we're going to wait a little while for it to dry, is we're going to pour the excess paint together in the bucket,
Yeah.
and then we're going to mix it again, just to make sure we get it smooth and also so the color's uniform.
Right.
Because what happens is the blue pigments start to sort of rise to the top, and we don't want it to end up like looking like not a good ombre,
Right.
like splotchy,
Yeah.
splotchy ombre. So we're gonna mix them again so that doesn't happen. We'll see how the second coat goes and how it dries, but so far it's been a very pleasurable experience. On. This is just 2 coats, so I'm pretty pleased with the coverage.
Absolutely, I love it.
So another thing that we've learned is milk paint does leave a little bit of a texture on the wall, and I don't know if that's because it doesn't do that with furniture necessarily, so I'm thinking it's more because of the roller, maybe?
Yeah, I don't
the nap
know.
of the roller?
Possibly. I'm wondering if, I don't know, because I guess it wouldn't absorb in the furniture or anything, so
Yeah.
mystery.
I don't know. Well, I think with a brush you can really like brush out the
That's
texture,
true.
whereas with a roller it's just gonna put it on. Just put it on the wall. But we actually kind of like it. It doesn't look like a textured wall, but it has.
You wouldn't even know really unless you touched it.
No, yeah, you'd have to feel it. You could always knock that down though. I think with a little bit of steel wool or something if you wanted to. But we kind of like it. It's got, I don't know, just a neat
character,
a neat vibe about it. So if you're thinking about painting your walls with milk paint, a couple of things. We did notice that the color changed on top of spackle.
Yes.
So if you have some spackled areas, I would suggest just dabbing over those with whatever kind of paint is currently on the wall, so that you're painting a uniform surface.
Right. So the color just blends.
Right. It was turning Bergère like kind of purple. It was a little weird. So just make sure you're painting all on one surface. If your walls are glossy, I would maybe not do milk paint, or I'd sand them down, or maybe prime them first, because you don't want to paint them and then have it all chip off.
Yeah.
Like that could be a cool look, but it could be very disastrous. Yeah. And you don't want to spend a whole day painting and then have it not work out for you. And another thing is, I don't know, I'd have to think about this. I don't know if I would use milk paint in like a bathroom or a kitchen, because I would be a little bit concerned about how the pigments would behave in the humidity of those environments.
True.
And splatter from the stove or stuff like that. So I think, and most companies recommend using a like a semi-gloss or a satin paint at least in the bathroom. Most of them say semi-gloss, and I'm like, I just can't do it. I cannot do that, so I'll use satin so that it's scrubbable and everything. So I don't think milk paint's necessarily scrubbable. And we did talk about with this wall, it's drying a little lighter than Kriste had hoped. So she definitely could put wax or hemp oil on the wall just to sort of.
And I think I'm gonna try hemp oil, at least like a little bit, and just see, and then I guess just roll it on, or even
I
don't know.
You could roll it on, sure, and then wipe off the excess, or just brush it on, I guess. But well, you have to let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
But just to bring out the depth of the color, so you definitely could put a finish on top of these paints too. But then you're getting into just like if you're doing 2 coats of paint and then a finish, and then like if it's a wax, then buffing it. That's getting into quite a lot of work. So I think you really could just leave it on its own. Most paints, including milk paint, take about 30 days to fully cure. What makes milk paint so great is once it's cured, like the limestone that's in it actually hardens. So it really, you get this hard finish on it.
Right.
So just be gentle with them for 30 days.
Right.
You know?
Which is good because we're moving.
Right. So
Moving in.
They're going to get bumped all over the walls and everything like that.
Well, I guess as we went along, we found that the paint thickened a little bit over time. So we just kept water with us and would add a little bit and kind of just stir it with the brush or roller, whatever we were using, and kept going.
Yeah, because the roller is drawing up more of the water and leaving more of the paint behind. And so, yeah, definitely you want to add a little bit more water. I find that too with furniture. Sometimes it gets a little thicker towards the end. Yeah. Add a bit more water. And it also extends the paint a bit. So I think you could paint a small to average size room in 2 coats with 4 quarts of paint.
Yeah.
So we had two 2-quart bags. So with 4 quarts of paint, you could do 2 coats in a sort of average to small size room is what we've found. And it depends on the color though too. So.
And what you're covering as well.
There's lots of variables there. So there's absolutely
white on dark colors. Don't do it.
So it's totally like useless information that we just threw out there, but that's how much we use. We were concerned about having enough paint. We had plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so thumbs up for milk paint on walls.
Yes, it's gonna happen everywhere.
Yeah. And Kriste's gonna share a lot of after pictures once she gets all the pretties in the room.
That's right.
And we're looking forward to seeing that. So we will see you next time. You can check out our channel for all kinds of videos on milk paint. There's still all of our Design Ramblings videos are up there. And my phone is ringing, so I need to go.
It's just like old times.
You have splatters on your face.
I can feel it.
Why not? Oh, I'm standing just right in front of you. Bergère is like tips, anything.
Anything.
You still have Artissimo splattered on your face.